You may have heard about Judeo-Christian values, but they are not a thing. And here's proof from Gemini and its AI-generated list of 20 cultural controversies, things which you will recognize, and the quote Judeo and the quote Christian positions on these issues. Specifically, what position do these NGOs back with money? Do the two sides agree with each other or not? 20 questions, 1 scorecard. First topic, abortion. Yeah, we're starting off hot here, and AI says Christian pro-life, Jewish pro-choice. Disagree, 1 point. But wait, that is just way too broad a claim, way too broad, and I agree that it's way too broad. We're not saying that all Christians think this way or that all Jews think this way. We are not analyzing religious texts and saying what they should think or anything like that. We're just, or Gemini is just, looking at the positions, the stated positions of prominent non-governmental organizations. Topic 2, gun control. The same, or at least the similar. And yeah, I know some of you were worried about the phrasing of that question here, but AI says that there is agreement here. What about CRT? Neither side has a monolithic position, but one side expresses criticism and the other is more supportive. We'll put that as a disagreement. Another issue, another clear contrast. Here, however, they are generally in alignment. Next, different perspectives. Concern for open discourse and forgiveness versus combating, i.e. punishing, hate speech. And we're not taking sides on this. We're just highlighting differences. We're just saying that different sides do exist, as do similarities. They exist too. And 1/3 through our list, it's a mixed bag so far, so we will speed up, agreeing to be healthy and safe and sustainable. But here, some will emphasize religious freedoms more, while others will prioritize protecting marginalized groups. Ideally, we would do both, but conflict happens. Here, too, one side wants more religion in public life, the other does not. Next, it's less clear-cut, but more disagreement. On the economy, however, agreement. Yay! Looking closer, there are distinctions between a prioritized option for the poor and a recognition of the dignity of all people versus the pursuit of a more just society. This, I think, though, is an authentic, a real opportunity for collaboration. Animals should be happy. Check. In general, Christian groups are more likely to support affirmative action, and Jewish groups are more likely to favor vaccine mandates. On this spicy issue, the contrast is even more stark. Here, not so much, though, and there, not so much either. At least, again, according to Gemini. I'm not saying this. Gemini is saying this here, and we have a list. And a scorecard to add up, it's 50-50, or 10-10. And we can agree on being safe and being healthy and rich and respectful in a clean environment. But how do you get there? That's the real question, and that's where the disagreement comes in, and that's where we can prove now, and we can say with confidence that Judeo-Christian values are not a thing, at least on these 10 hot political issues. If you drill down a bit more, it turns out it's a classical issue in political philosophy. Should we pursue the common good or protect individual rights? Maybe we should be wary of the tyrannical majority, but that might require unpopular government action, which in itself could be its own sort of tyranny. Maybe even a tyranny that fights against the common good, and no one would want that. And speaking of no one really has the right to cause harm. And more, of course, more can and has been said about all of this. Our point is simply just to say one more time that at least on these 10 issues, Judeo-Christian values are not a thing.